Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? All right, I'm getting sorry about not having a Sunday Night Live broadcast, but we were traveling. Planes got rearranged due to bad weather. I got to Little Rock, Arkansas last night at 1 o'clock in the morning. So sorry, I'm a little tired, a little behind. So I wanted to go live right now and get you up to speed. First of all, I just got off the phone with Clay Clark. Some of you may have heard of him. Clay Clark is with Reawaken America Tour. He's actually the head of it, Reawaken America Tour, and his website is thrivetimesshow.com. Okay, thrivetimesshow.com. But anyway, Clay Clark from Reawaken America Tour. That's the tours where the former National Security Advisor General Mike Flynn is the keynote speaker, along with a lot of great Americans that are standing up to help reawaken America. And I just got off the phone with him, and we're going to have him as a guest on our show coming up in August. So prepare yourself for that. That's really, really good stuff. And he's invited me if I'd like to come to one of these events and be involved in some type of way. So I'll let you know more about that. But anyway, it's really amazing what's going on. Somebody just said, I just watched the Climate Chaos CDs. Mind blowing. Yes, they are, Kimberly. Thank you for commenting on that. I want other people to know we have. Matter of fact, thank you. Since you brought it up, I guess I just have one with me in my hand. What? Yes, I do. In my satchel over here. Climate Chaos, guys. If you haven't gotten yours, get yours now. We've shipped a ton of them out. But we still got quite a few we could ship out. So go ahead and place an order. Get yours now. Climate Chaos. It is mind blowing. And I'm glad you brought that up. Mind blowing. It really is. Because this is why you're having, first of all, people don't even know what's going on with the craziness of our climate, but also why it's happening scientifically and why it's happening prophetically. And that's why we brought in guys like Michael Bradbury of Mr. MBB333, Gil Brazard with his new information about the effects of Planet X. Michael Bradbury talked about extreme weather, Planet X, volcanoes, cyclones, solar grand minimums. I did a presentation, one of my better ones, called Apocalypse Now, Bible Signs. And then Steve Quayle did weather modifications and manipulations. Mike from around the world, his is titled, It's Time to Tell the Truth. I love it. And Shepard Ambellas, Global Order, Plan for Humanity. Also, Bart Begley did a Climate Chaos documentary, which is incredible. And also there's Songs from Heaven by Kevin Wilson. All of it on this Climate Chaos DVD. You want to get yours today. Go and get yours today. Let me put a quick shout out if I could right now for noblegoldinvestment.com. Let me reach my satchel because when you're on the road, you have to keep stuff close or you'll never keep up with everything going on in the world. Noblegoldinvestment.com. That's www.noblegoldinvestment.com. Guys, seriously, what can I say? That's hyperinflation, superinflation, whatever kind of inflation you want to call it. It's going on right now. Okay. It's going on. It's not good. And I don't think people are prepared for the realization that their retirement funds are being eaten alive by inflation. There's only one way to protect that. If you just leave it in cash, the value of that cash is eroding. But if you transfer some of that into, let's say, a precious metal like gold or silver or something like that, then as the hyperinflation goes up, then the price of gold and silver will go up, meaning your equity at least is gaining in value and not just sitting there losing value, purchasing power. You know what I'm saying? I just want to explain that. And I'm not an economist by any means of imagination. I don't even play one on YouTube. But now inflation isn't something we've heard about for a while. It's here. And it's the worst it's been in 29 years, since 1992. This is a big problem, guys. I highly recommend you pick up the phone today. Call Colin Plume at noblegoldinvestment.com. That's 877-646-5347. That's 877-646-5347. And Heidi has, my beautiful wife, look at how beautiful she looks today. Amazing. Wow. I'm the luckiest guy alive. Really, seriously. Hey, thank you, darling, for the coffee. Call Colin, 877-646-5347, or go to his website at noblegoldinvestment.com. All right, now here's what's going on, guys. The Chinese. Oh, I forgot. I almost forgot. Heidi just got the map. She's trying to figure out how she can print it. And so she's working on that, okay? Because we're on the road. We're trying to figure out if there's a way to print it here. And I can show it to you. But here's what it can do. Is it up? Do you have it over at Patreon? Yes. Okay. So we got it. We finally got it from Mike from around the world. It is the second half. It's the second half of the U.S. map. You know how he showed us the East Coast.
Well,
now.
And it's updated.
It's updated too.
So it's the updated West Coast.
It's the updated West Coast. As you guys know, these are models. And the models change based on the information that's fed it, from buoys in the ocean to water levels to atmospheric compression, earthquakes, volcano, everything that's going on with our Earth, poles shifting, all of it. The computer then is able to create models of what the West Coast will look like as this water continues to rise, and as the pole continues to shift, and as the magma continues to move, and the Bible prophecies continue to be fulfilled. And this is why I'm going on the Jim Baker show on Thursday, to talk about Isaiah's apocalypse, actually to talk about this. And so it's incredible what we're dealing with here, and I want people to be ready for it, okay? So anyway, go to Patreon right now. Go to Patreon right now. Thank you, beautiful story. Go to Patreon right now. It's there. We just got it. It's there. You can go look at it right now. Those of you who are already members of Patreon. If you're not a member of Patreon, it's real simple to become one. Just go over there and your donation, your pledge, $5 a month, $10 a month, $3 a month, whatever it is you want to give. Some people want to give $20. Some people want to use that as their way to tithe. You just go, because by doing that, you're helping us spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. The Patreon really helps pay for not all of the television costs that we have, but at least gives it a good hunk, and it helps us big time. So you're helping us spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. Look at this. Someone said, wow, I just looked at it. My goodness, I know. So get over there. Now, let me tell you about what's going on now. What else is going on while you're worried about that? We need this like a hole in the head, another hole in the head. That is China. But just a few hours ago, not long, about 4 hours ago, China said it drove away a U.S. warship on the anniversary of their tribunal ruling against them. China, of course, thinks they own the entire South China Sea. And so we sent in a warship right into the South China Sea in an area that China said is theirs. But the international courts ruled, no, it's not yours. It's international waters. So what did Joe Biden do? And I got to give him a lot of credit. President Biden, he sent a warship right in there on the anniversary of this ruling. And China didn't like it. They drove away our U.S. warship that China says illegally entered Chinese waters near the Parcel Islands this morning. This is the anniversary of the international court ruling that held Beijing had no claim over the South China Sea. The USS Benfold, that was the warship, the USS Benfold, entered the waters without China's approval, seriously violating its sovereignty and undermining the stability of the South China Sea. The Southern Theater Command of the People's Liberation Army made in a statement. But we urge, he said, the United States to immediately stop such provocation actions. This morning, well, back on 5 years ago today, a permanent court of arbitration in The Hague ruled that China has no historic title over the South China Sea, a ruling that Beijing said it would ignore. So Beijing does not care what international ruling, the courts in The Hague say. They don't care. You have to understand, communists don't care what the rest of the free world thinks. But we care, because if we start allowing this imperialism of this communism, this cancer of a doctrine eating away at the world, the whole world will never be safe. So the United States is doing the right thing by sending in our warship, the USS Benfold, right into the heart of this area, asserting our navigational rights and freedoms in the vicinity of the Parcel Islands, consistent with international law, according to the U.S. Navy. The islands are claimed by China, but they're also claimed by Taiwan, and they're also claimed by Vietnam, which require either permission or advance notification between the three military vessels that pass through. Under international law, as reflected in the law of the Sea of Convention, the ships of all states, including their warships, enjoy the right of innocent passage through this territorial sea. So anybody else going through, usually communicates with China, Taiwan, and Vietnam. China, Taiwan, and Vietnam do not have to ask for permission between the three of them. Any of them can go through according to the courts. But guess what? China doesn't play ball that way. China says anybody that comes through here, whether it be the United States or anybody else, or Taiwan or Vietnam, you will answer to us and are subject to being fired upon. Okay? The United States is ignoring China's threats and following international law. Under international law is reflected in the law of the Sea of Convention, the ships of all states, including their warships, enjoy the right of innocent passage through the territorial sea by the Parcel Islands, according to the U.S. Navy. By engaging in innocent passage without giving prior notification or asking permission from any of the claimants, which would be China, Taiwan, or Vietnam, the United States challenged these unlawful restrictions imposed by China, Taiwan, and Vietnam. What? Hundreds of other islands, reefs, and atolls in the recent rich waterways are contested by other nations like Brunei and Malaysia and the Philippines. And China claims rights to all of it, saying it's theirs, basically taking it all from everybody. By conducting these operations, the United States has demonstrated that these waters are beyond what China can lawfully claim as theirs, thus a ruling in the international courts at The Hague, and that China's claimed straight baselines around the Parcel Islands are inconsistent with international laws, according to the U.S. Navy. The 2016 ruling, as of today, 5 years ago, The Hague court also said China had interfered with traditional Philippine fishing rights at the Scarborough Shoal and breached the country's sovereign rights by exploring for oil and gas near the Reed Bank. So not only are they claiming these things, they're interfering with the Philippines fishermen from able to go out and fish the waters they've fished forever. And also they're starting to drill for oil in the very waters that they don't own. Freedom of the seas is an enduring interest of all nations. According to U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, he said this yesterday, nowhere is rules-based maritime order under greater threat than the South China Sea. The People's Republic of China continues to coerce and intimidate Southeast Asian coastal states, threatening freedom of navigation in the critical global thoroughway. Yeah, this is where trade takes place. Cargo from every nation. You can't have one nation setting up a toll booth or setting up a blockade on the rest of the world. We cannot. It cannot allow this. Nobody can allow this. It's not a United States thing. None of us can allow this. This is one thing I would think that even Russia would agree with us to stand up against China on this. This cannot happen. The British, the French, the Australians, and the Australians are at a disadvantage because they're sitting down there at the bottom of it. And boy, China could cut them off from the rest of the world easily. Okay. And Japan is sitting in the middle of this problem with Taiwan. I mean, you have to understand there's some dangerous situations here. So, folks, I'm telling you, this is big. This is big. You say, oh, just another issue. No, no, no. This is bigger this time. We went in right into the heart of the controversial area. It's not controversial as far as we're concerned. It's not controversial as far as the world's concerned. But it was an irritation. It's like throwing sand in the eyes of the Chinese and saying, I'm sorry, but you don't own this. And on the 5th anniversary of a ruling by the international courts, we're gonna sail right through there and defend not only our right to the South China Sea, but everybody's right. And guys, China didn't like it. They drove us out of there. They sent in ships, helicopters, planes, everything to make sure that the USS Benfold left the area. So I'm going to say something. I've been very cautious about this. I was just interviewed by the Russian television network. It's going to be airing a documentary. They were at my home in Florida for what, 3.5 hours, Heidi? Something like that.
Yeah.
And they interviewed me for 3.5 hours, and I'm sure they're going to edit it and put it all into their documentary. But they wanted to know, they had asked me a lot of questions about what I thought was coming globally. How did they see it? How did Russia play into it and all that? I just said to them that the next 18 months, the world is on the brink of some type of major war. Major war. I think it's going to be in the Middle East, but I'm not sure. There's a strong possibility that China will go on the offensive against somebody. I don't think it's the United States. I don't think they sink one of our battleships. I don't think they go right after the U.S. I think they go after one of the little guys. Maybe it's the Philippines. Maybe it's Vietnam. Maybe it's Malaysia. Maybe it's Micronesia. Maybe it's Taiwan. Maybe they think they're going to take back Taiwan, Japan. I don't think it's going to be the United States at all, but it will be an aggressive move toward one of the little guys. And then they're going to say, okay, now United States, what are you going to do about this? We just took this from who? Vietnam. We just took this. Militarily powered. It's ours, and don't come near us. Now what? And I think that's the game. I think it starts the process of where United States, Britain, and France and the Western world has to decide, what are we going to do? Are we going to let these guys chip away and take over the entire South China Sea and all the natural resources with it and block the right of way? They control who gets to go through and who doesn't in trade. You talk about a trade war. It's beyond a trade war then. It actually puts us on the brink of prophecy. In the book of Revelation, it talks about what I call World War III that kills about 1/3 of the world. And for that to happen, China would absolutely have to be involved, and probably the United States, Russia, and others. And so we're going to watch this closely. This is huge, what's going on. This is prophecy unfolding right before our very eyes. And I'm going to just take a look at here at Revelation 9 with you just for 1 second. And here's what it says in this chapter. I'm going to be 100% sure I got this correct and that I'm not reading the wrong one. Yes, here it is. The bottomless pit gets opened. The angel with the key to the bottomless pit comes and opens it, okay? And here's what it says. Let's just go to Revelation chapter 9:11. So go to 9:11. Revelation 9:11. Guess this is amazing that Revelation 9:11 is this verse. And the king, they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, and in the Greek tongue, his name is Apollyon. This is spiritual 911. Okay? This is heaven against hell right here. It meets on earth. Heaven against hell meets on earth in Revelation 9:11. I could write a book on that, I guess. But anyway, one woe is past, and behold, there come two woes more hereafter. And the sixth angel sounded. I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar, which are before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared an hour, a day, a month, and a year, for to slay the third part of men. So you know the river Euphrates runs from to Turkey, Iraq, Syria, and Iran. So that is your Middle East. But when it releases the four spirits there, the number of the army of that horseman which show up is 200,000 thousands, which is 200 million man army. And that's believed to be, of course, the army of China. So this is coming, guys. This is coming. When heaven meets hell, the battle for heaven against hell happens on earth, and we're getting ever closer to it. So prepare yourself. Jesus Christ is coming soon. I'm going to welcome all 1,200 of you with us now. One more time. If you haven't got Climate Chaos, you need to get it. Go get Climate Chaos. Amazing. But Heidi just posted the Mike from Around the World map on the West Coast. It is the latest. Heidi, it's the latest, right? Mm-hmm. Absolute, up to the minute, latest government model on what the West Coast of the United States will look like when the catastrophe, when the apocalypse comes, what I call the Isaiah apocalypse. I'm going to be showing. Listen, we're going to print as soon as we can figure out how to print it. We're on the road here in Little Rock, Arkansas. I got a meeting tomorrow with Dr. Happy Caldwell. On my way to Branson to be on the Jim Baker show. We're going to figure out how to print it. But right now we got it posted on Patreon. Go there right now. If you haven't subscribed, you should do it. Do it now. Do it right now. Go to Patreon. Urgent. Go to Patreon and look at this map. It's the West Coast. The West Coast. And obviously, I'm going to be talking to Mike from Around the World about this on Thursday night. Are you serious? I mean, are you real? Are you serious? Stay awake, everybody. We're living in the last days. We're living in the end times. This is getting, Heidi, this is getting intense. Are you saved? Are you serious? Seriously? Give your life to Jesus? Oh, yesterday I was preaching at the big tent, packed the big tent, almost every chair in there, 300 chairs, almost every one of them full. And it was 86 degrees. People didn't care. I'm preaching, sweating. One thing was beautiful. Praise and worship was amazing. 5 people came forward, accepted Jesus Christ as their Savior. Several others rededicated, and many people I anointed with oil for healing. It was an incredible, wow, it's begun. The Florida outpouring has begun. Don't miss it. Every Sunday morning in the villages at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. And I'm going to be back there in 2 weeks preaching again on July 25th. But you might as well go next Sunday because it's awesome. I love all you guys. God bless. Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious?